Well, we've got a calm morning finally, but the fog is refusing to go away. In fact, it may have got a little worse since I arrived, although it will go away once the sun gets up, and the sun should just about be up. Although I can't see it. It should be coming up over there. I can't see the sun, but it should be up. Anyway, I was going to try this little DC3 again. I put longer wheel struts on because the props didn't clear the ground when the plane was horizontal with the original wheel struts. But then last time I flew him, one of the wheels fell off. I don't think you're going to be able to see that very well. I've just put a blob of cyanoacrylate on the end of there to hold that wheel on the strut now, and we hope that will work. Now this guy actually does need, he needs the any-link, so we need to turn the transmitter off. I need to turn the transmitter off, attach the any-link to the back, and then plug it into the wired trainer port, and that should bring on the transmitter in SLT mode, or sort of whatever, basically. I'm going to stick with using the battery that came with him. I tried to fly him last time with a slightly bigger battery, but, he's so feeble that a tiny little bit of extra weight I don't know whether he can handle, so I'm just going to not complicate matters for now. I'm going to put the original battery back. So he's just being flown with the battery. The only thing that's not the stock the way he came, there are the stock wheels, but the wheel struts have been changed, because otherwise trying to take him off, even off a runner like this, as soon as he came horizontal, the propellers would hit the ground with the original wheel struts, which is totally unhelpful. So really, you pretty much needed to hand launch him, and then even then the propellers are going to hit the ground every time you landed with the original wheel struts. These wheel struts give a little bit more room. I added about 3/8 of an inch to each of them. Now, my memory of this guy, I've tried to fly him twice with very little success on the whole. He doesn't have much power, he's not very keen on flying, so we'll see what we can do, but I have to arm the ESC. The ESC has to go all the way up to the top, and then all the way down to the bottom to arm it. Whoa, God, he's a bugger. Well, he went up there, but he lurched sideways. I don't know. Trying to be gentle with him. That time he just ran right off the runner. That wheel may not be running as well as you'd like, but it feels pretty loose. Oh God, it's a devil to get this thing up. It's a devil to try and get this thing up. He lurches here and there, and I was giving him left rod there to try and stop him. Whoa, now the wheel was definitely sticking there, I think. I don't really want to have... That was a bit of grass on the propeller. I was trying to get it off. God, he really does. You need full power to do anything, more or less. Certainly to get him up. He's a devil to get up. And this fog, it's still kind of foggy, so the visibility's not good. We'll slow him. Now we've got him up, we'll cut the throttle back a bit and slow him down a bit. Whoa. Yeah, you've definitely got to give him full power to get him up, and then of course you've got to pull him up, but then if you pull him up into a stall if you're not careful, which I pretty much did. But to get him up off the run, I had to give him full power and pull him up quickly, and then essentially recover from the stall that I then drove him into. I could have hand launched him. Now I've only got 4 minutes on the timer because I don't have much confidence. There's only a 250 milliamp hour one cell battery powering two motors, two brushed motors. So let's try and loop him. Well, he can loop, yes. Well, I've seen other people loop him, so I sort of know he can. It's not easy to see in these conditions. I can't really tell what I'm doing too well. I don't know whether the wind's going, how quickly the wind's going to get up. I'm sure the wind will get up in later in the day. I'm very hesitant to do much, given that control on this guy is not good, and I'm not seeing too well. Okay. It's good to have some altitude, I think that's about as fancy as I'm going to get. But then but the problem is it's hard to see him as he gets higher, being small, and though there's no fog above. Well, that's about it. I'm basically going to bring him in now, more or less. Well, we got him flying again anyway. Getting him up is the most difficult thing, because you've really, and I suppose you could hand launch him. To try and take him off, especially off a short runner like that, I've got to really punch him, but then trying to keep control of him as I punch him like that is very difficult. He has a tendency to run, as you power him up, to run off to the right. The contra-rotate, yeah, that's true. They're contra-rotating propellers, so you'd sort of think the propellers, you wouldn't have thought there was much torque driving him sideways, but okay, we're not going to try and land on the runner. Let's just try and land somewhere, and I don't think he's going to glide worth a damn. Okay, so you expect him to flip when he hits the ground, because he's not going to run on the grass, and I didn't want to risk trying to glide him in, because I don't think he would, given his performance generally, I don't think he would glide worth a damn. Very nice looking plane. Looks better if it's not soaked in water, but they use transparent material for the windows, and rather than just painting them on black, you can actually see through the windows, because that means you can see the wires inside, but still. A very attractive plane. I like this paint better than you can buy it either in this or in a silver sort of fictitious airline version. Generally, I'd prefer a civilian version of the DC3, but I didn't particularly like the paint they did, so I thought this looked nicer. So there you go. The Flyzone DC3. We did get him to fly again reasonably successfully. Of the 3 attempts I've had to fly him so far, I think I would say that was the most successful. I might try him again with the other battery at some sort of point. That's the original battery. But then it does put a hair more weight in the nose, and that's the last thing he needs. It gives him more power. It's twice the rate of the 500 as opposed to a 250. But a little more weight he doesn't need more weight in the nose. Anyway, there you go. The Flyzone C47 in this DC3/C47. This is the C47 version.